Whose words do you speak? Do you walk them well? Ask your heart. Do you know who I am? Do you hear the child who wants to run with the wind? Do you hear the child who wants to run with the wind? Joy, do you know how it tastes? Do you know how you feel right here, right now? Ask your heart, where did I go? Can you find the child who wants to run with the wind? Can you find the child who wants to run begin. The child of the Father is lost in the ocean of love, holding the hand of the guide through the path of confusion inside. Tears become pearls in the silence and passing of time. The song of remembrance is sung in unlimited rhyme. The song of remembrance is sung in unlimited rhyme. Dance away to the beautiful music you wanted to play. Dance away in your heart. Dance away to the beautiful music you wanted to play. Dance away in your heart. In your heart. The palace of mirrors reflect the secrets within you reject. A hat of some status disguising the kingdom of light. The room of your heart you vacate when the hotel of sorrows your fate. Locked in a jungle of questions, the fortune of hell. Wearing the armor of light, with the weapons of knowledge to fight. The battle within against weakness is fought in the mind. The gods of attention await. The last bugle's blown at the gate, and spiritual warriors with hearts full of courage won't hide. Your guaranteed victories tribute with God by your side. Your guaranteed victories tribute with God by your side. Dance away to the beautiful music you wanted to play. Dance away in your heart. Dance away to the do you wear? Whose words do you speak? Do you walk them well? Ask your heart, do you know who I am? Do you hear the child who wants to run with the wind? Do you hear the child who wants to run with the wind? Joy, do you know how it tastes? Do you know how you feel right here, right now? Ask your heart, where did I go? Can you find the child who wants to run with the wind? Can you find the child who wants to run with the wind? Take a glimpse of God on the horizon. Know that somewhere there's a place called home. Hear the message from the corridors of heaven and go running safely to the arms of the one you dance, let 'em know who you are. Wear your love on your sleeve and diamonds in your eyes. Tell your heart, I know who I am. You will hear the child who runs with the wind. You will be the child who runs with the wind. You will love the child who runs with the wind. Who runs with the wind.
Good evening, everyone, or Om Shanti, as we say it in the Brahmakumaris. A very warm welcome to this evening's program on the auspicious occasion of Mahashivratri. The theme for this evening's program is as you saw just before, the night before dawn, invoking and experiencing the love of one. And I have the honor of being your MC for this very special program tonight. This special event is being organized by various centers of the Brahma Kumaris in the US, starting from Boston in Massachusetts to Tampa in Florida, including various places in between in Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey. So for those of you who know the Brahma Kumaris already, and I see many of you, the names look familiar. Welcome, and we are happy to see you again. And for those of you who are here for the first time, a very, very warm welcome. Let me tell you a little about the Brahma Kumaris. The Brahma Kumaris is a worldwide spiritual movement. You can also say a spiritual organization with a network of over 9,000 centers in 130 countries and more than 1 million individuals dedicated to personal transformation and world renewal. Our commitment is to helping individuals transform their perspective of the world from material to spiritual. And at the heart of our teaching is God, and the belief that human beings are innately good and virtuous. And so we can start this process of becoming divine again just by remembering who we originally are. Our main teaching at most of our centers is called the Raj Yoga meditation. And our centers are safe spiritual spaces to experience our own spiritual self and explore our connection with God. So coming to the event of this evening, very special greetings for the festival of Mahashivratri. So those of you from an Indian background, diaspora, you will know Mahashivratri is a very renowned and unique festival of the Hindu tradition. It celebrates the incarnation of Shiva as the world benefactor at a time when the world is in extreme darkness. And he incarnates to show us the path to light, truth, and liberation. So as many people of this day and age ask, right? They ask this about any festival. Why should Shivratri matter to us? Why do any of these festivals matter? What is its relevance to us in this day and age? So if it is something that happened thousands of years ago, yes, it's part of history and tradition. And in some ways, I can think that it is not significant to my life right now. But what we are talking about here is not a celebration of just something that happened thousands of years ago and is lost in time and is just tradition. It's not. It is something all of us believe that we are participating in this at this moment right now. It is the moment of Mahashivratri now. In the scriptures, on the Hindu path, it is said that God descends at a time of extreme unrighteousness in this world. If you look around, you can recognize that it is that same moment again, right? It's a time of extreme darkness in the world right now on many fronts, if not all. So it is at this time that God comes and shows us the way from darkness to light. So this is what Shivratri celebrates. And Shivratri on the devotional path is celebrated on the darkest night of the year, when there is absolutely no moonlight. It's total darkness. So it is a memorial that light which comes back into our lives liberates us from that darkness and takes us into a world of light and liberation. This is the reason we're celebrating it today. So then you may ask me, how do we experience that today? So that's what this evening's program is all about. This evening, we will take you through a magical experience. From where we started this search to who is God, what is his task, and what do we need to do right now. So that is going to be your evening today. So before we start, let us all come together. And as you know, if you have attended any programs with the Brahma Kumaris, that we always start with invoking God's presence in our midst. So let's take a few minutes of silent reflection while Sister Kala, who is the director of our Peace Village Learning and Retreat Center, will lead us through some silent reflection. Sister Kala. Sister Kala, you're on mute.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Yes, we are in for a beautiful evening of experience. And we all know that no experience can be more beautiful than with the presence of God. And so perhaps I am, of course, going to be speaking a few words, but I invite everyone on the program also to perhaps not say the same words in their minds, but to really resonate with the words and touch that part of the soul, of the self, that remembers a time when we all felt, each one, the presence of God to be very real and very near. So taking a few deep breaths, getting in touch with the core of the being that we all are. Let's remember. And let's invoke that one. Let's talk to that one directly. They say that you come at the darkest hour of the night. When we are ready for your light. And let's look within. Am I ready for that light? Yes. I prepare myself in a cloak of light for the coming of light. They say that you come when your devotees are ready with a clean heart, and yes, let us look at the temple of our hearts. Is it clean? With nothing but the cleanest and the purest feelings. I invite you into my heart and into this gathering. They say you love silence. And so let us make our minds quiet. So that before we even listen, we can feel your presence. And now, we know you're here with us. And we can feel your presence and your benevolence. And so we open ourselves to this program with total trust and love for you. Om Shanti.
Dearest friends, have you ever experienced the magical flow of life, where you may not have realized it at the time, those perfectly planned sequence of events? But looking back, it feels like déjà vu, as if you have always known this, like a beautiful memory. Today is one of those days, but it has begun just like every other day. You emerge from the world of sleep into the world of waking, or what you think then is the world of waking, and move into your day. On one level, you move through the routines of your day as if following a script. But on another, you are constantly scanning, watching for a clue, a signal that might promise a break in what has become a numbing life. For some time, you have been living with an emptiness, a loneliness, and a weariness with the world. There is darkness and heaviness in the world that you do not recall feeling when you were young. You pray and look up to God for directions, but you don't see any clear signs, but your seeking continues.
हे मालिक तेरे बंदे हम ऐसे हो हमारे करम नेकी पर चले और बदी से टले ताकि दम है मालिक तेरे बंदे हम बड़ा कमजोर है आदमी अभी लाखों है इसमें कमी पर तू जो खड़ा है दयालु बड़ा तेरी कृपा से धरती थमी दिया तूने हमें जब जन्म तू ही झेलेगा हम सबके गम नीति पर चले और बदी से चले ताकि हंसते हुए निकले दम है मालिक तेरे बंदे हम जब जुल्मों का हो सामना जब जुल्मों का हो सामना तब तू ही हमें थामना वो बुराई करे हम भलाई भरे नहीं बदले की हो कामना बढ़ उठे प्यार का हर कदम और मिटे बैर का ये भरम नीति पर चले और बदी से चले ताकि हंसते हुए निकले दम है मालिक तेरे बंदे हम
You wander through pilgrimage places, bookstores, public lectures, and into spiritual settings in search of the kind of ground truth that will shed light on your life, on these times, and on what it is that you should be doing to uplift yourself and to help this struggling world. You even study religion and philosophy in the hope of understanding yourself, the truth, and God. The seeking continues.
Miss Mackenzie, this world is in so much upheaval and sorrow. I am wondering how people overcome their sorrow. I see my parents and grandparents praying, but yet, when I ask a question about God, they don't have the answer. Who knows the truth?
Oh, Arnav, I love when we have these conversations. So, I know it's hard to believe, but no matter what the religion is, people cause their own sorrow.
Look at this book. I have been studying about different religions. I know you have been studying all these scriptures. Can you please explain to me what these devotees are doing?
Let me see what you've been learning. Oh, these are a few examples of what devotees do to remove their sorrows. In Hinduism, they have been bathing in the Ganges for centuries with the hope of washing away their sins.
हमको मन की शक्ति देना मन विजय करे दूसरों की जय से पहले खुद को जय करे
That's interesting. Do you mean like Christian baptism?
Yes, but no one has really been able to wash away their sorrows. Oh, look at this image. Judaism teaches that God is spiritual and not physical. Moses even had a vision of God as a flame behind a bush. Oh, Buddhism. Many followed Buddhism to resolve their life challenges. The teachings encourage others to think and find a solution themselves, and not to just blindly follow what is said. Look here, how beautiful. During Christian services, they sing and praise God with such intense emotion. The Bible even says, God is light, and in him there is no darkness.
Jesus, my Lord, my God, my all, how can I love thee as I am? Then, what are they doing here?
In Sikhism, Guru Nanak said, Sat Shri Akal, God is the truth, elevated and immortal.
Has anyone found happiness?
There is a message in devotional acts, but they do not remove all sorrows.
How do we remove all sorrows and gain eternal happiness?
All the religions give us some connectivity with God.
So, who is that God and where is he now?
The God who never gives sorrow to anyone. He is the bestower of happiness.
I overheard your conversation. I have been praying and seeking for God. I have gone on numerous pilgrimages, performed charities, and read many scriptures.
Wow! All of this you have done, but you still continue to seek for answers?
Because there are still so many questions.
So, we are all seeking for true happiness.
So now we have come to a convergence of questions. We can now understand that all are seeking happiness, having forgotten that sorrows do not come from any other source, but of our own creation. Everyone continues to call out in some form or another. External rituals of devotees may be of difference, but internally, that love for God, which inspires us, will keep us seeking.
Who is God? How does one know God? How will one recognize God? The seeking and searching goes on for quite some time. And then, one day, when you least expect it, you hear this 100-year-old lady talking about God with such clarity, as if he is her companion and she knows everything about him. She talks about how to see him, how to know him, how to recognize him, how to connect, and how to experience him.
जब गॉड कहते हैं
When we say God,
तो सबकी बुद्धि ऊपर चली जाती है।
everyone's intellect
ईश्वर
goes,
अल्लाह
God, Ishwar,
गॉड एक है,
are the same.
सर्व आत्माओं का पिता एक है,
The Father of all souls is one.
सर्व का दुख हरता शांति दाता एक है,
The bestower of sorrow and bestower
ज्ञान का सागर,
one. The
फिर
ocean
प्यार
of
का
love,
सागर,
the ocean of love,
शांति का सागर,
the ocean of peace,
आनंद का सागर,
the ocean of bliss,
पतित पावन,
and the purifier is one God.
उसको इन आंखों से देखा नहीं जा सकता,
He cannot be
इस
seen,
बुद्धि से जाना नहीं जा सकता।
he cannot be
उसको
recognized.
देखने और जानने के लिए
In order to see,
अंतर मन की आंख खुले,
my inner eye opens.
अंतर बुद्धि
Let my
शुद्ध हो जाए, दिव्य हो जाए,
pure and
तो
divine,
जाने।
and then I can know him.
देखना और जानना दोनों जरूरी है,
It is essential to see him and
फिर
know.
पहचानेंगे
Then I will have that
वो
recognition.
कौन है, कैसा है,
Who is he? What is he like?
क्या करता है,
What does he do?
क्या कराता है,
What does he
तो
inspire?
अपने अनुभव से कहेंगे। हम भी भगवान को बहुत ढूंढती थी,
I too was looking for God.
कोई कहे ईश्वर है ही नहीं,
Some said God doesn't
कोई
exist.
कहे मैं ईश्वर हूँ,
Some say I am God.
कोई कहे तो ईश्वर है,
Some say God exists,
कहाँ है, कैसा है, उसका नाम,
but they don't know him.
देश,
What is his name,
काल,
form,
ये क्या है। वो
and
अभी समय आया, कलयुग की अंत और सतयुग
time
आ रहा है,
it is the end of the iron
सतयुग
age
पूरा हुआ है।
coming.
ये कलयुग, सतयुग से कलयुग का नाटक चक्कर पूरा हुआ है, अभी अंतिम घड़ियां
Day is
है,
coming to an end.
सर्व आत्माएं ऊपर
This
से नीचे
final
आ
moment
गई
now,
है।
and also
धर्म गिलानी,
down.
पाप, भ्रष्टाचार दुनिया में
Definition of religion,
इतना बढ़ गया है,
sin and
तो
corruption
सच्चा
have
का
increased,
नाम भी निशान न रहा है।
that now there is no name or
धर्म
place
सत्ता
of
चाहे
truth
राज्य सत्ता,
in the field of
दोनों में अंदर से
or
सुख
politics.
शांति का जो जैसे कहे दिवाला हो गया है।
It is as though they are
ऐसे
bankrupt
टाइम में
peace.
प्यारा परमात्मा बाप
At such a time,
ऐसे ब्रह्मा बाबा के तन द्वारा
our beloved Supreme
प्रवेश हो,
reveals
हम
him
आत्माओं को
from
अपना
us
परिचय दे करके,
and gives us souls
हम आत्मा है,
our introduction.
हम चक्कर में पाठ बजा के पूरा किया है।
He says your
हे
souls
आत्मा परमात्मा बाप पतित पावन, ज्ञान का सागर, शांति का सागर,
purified,
का सागर,
love,
वो पावन बना करके
the ocean of
घर
peace,
का रास्ता बता रहा है।
come to
परमात्मा
purify
बाप कहे,
back home.
बच्चे मैं तो
God,
सदा परम
Father,
धाम में
say,
रहने वाला हूँ।
children, I
फिर
always
आगे
the Supreme.
बाप कौन, हम कहाँ से आए हैं,
We have
कहाँ
forgotten
जाना है,
we are
सब
where
भूले हुए थे।
we from.
अभी
And
प्यारे परमात्मा बाप ने जो
now
हमारे भारत के अंदर भगवान,
incarnated,
ईश्वर, प्रभु तीन रूप से कहते हैं।
we call him
ईश्वर
Bhagwan.
तेरी गत मत न्यारी,
Your ways and me,
भगवान तू तो भाग्य विधाता है,
you are the bestower of
प्रभु
God.
तेरी लीला परम पार है।
Your activities are
तो उसको
divine.
जानने से अनुभव होता है कि
By
वो
faith,
परमात्मा
you
एक
experience him.
इस समय अंधकार को मिटाना और फिर से रोशनी लाना
He
ये
has
उसका
come to
काम है।
dispel darkness
ज्ञान
and
अंजन
bring light.
सतगुरु दिया, अज्ञान अंधेर विनाश।
When Sadguru gives
परमात्मा ने
knowledge,
हमारा
ignorance
तीसरा
removed.
नेत्र ज्ञान का खोला, त्रिकालदर्शी बनाया,
Opened our
और
third eye,
कहता है तीनों लोकों के मालिक हो,
and he's making
शुद्ध
us the
दुनिया
master of
कर।
the three worlds.
अभी समझो दुख धाम से, दुनिया से छूट करके शांति धाम में चल के
Now you're
दुख
becoming
धाम में
from
आना है
sorrow
ना,
to
इसलिए
peace,
एक मेरे के
and then come
याद
into
में
world
रहो।
of happiness. For
दूसरा
this,
श्रेष्ठ
you
कर्म
bring
का
happiness.
खाता इतना जमा करो
Stay
और
in
तुम
remembrance
मेरे
and
बच्चे
do charity.
बाप से स्वर्ग की राजई का
You will then claim your inheritance
बसा लेंगे
of
ना।
heaven from the Father, will you not?
Even when you know God, sometimes translating it is very difficult. But all these things you hear are swimming in your mind, drop by drop. This understanding is like nectar, filling your heart, healing, and stirring something very deep inside. Although these things are not things that you have heard before, it feels like a spiritual awakening very deep inside, an energy that has been dormant, sleeping, unconscious.
God, you are the light in me. You are the light in me. You are the light in me. You are the light. You are the light in me. God, you are the love in me. You are the love in me. You are the love in me. You are the love. You are the love in me. God, you are the peace in me. You are the peace in me. You are the peace in me. You are the peace. You are the peace in me. God's light of mine, I'll let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. God's light of mine, I will let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. You are the love in me. You are the light. You are compassion in me. You are the light. You are forgiveness in me. You
You reflect on what was said and what you heard. You are a subtle star, an immortal, eternal traveler through time. When you began this journey, you were as pure as gold, infused with a deep contentment and silently radiating peace. You were of the same quality and form as God, your true mother, true father. You linger for a moment on this idea of your true parent, and you wonder what this might mean. Belonging to God, a child of God, made in the image of God. You wonder what this experience is like.
You are souls, and I am your eternal parent. All souls are my children. All belong to me. You call me God, Baba, Father, and I call you child. There is sweetness in this sacred relationship. There is living love. I am your unlimited mother and father. You are brothers and sisters. As your mother, I support you and cherish you. I have come to serve you. As your father, I give you your inheritance. I advise you what to do, and I help to develop your character. I take you by the hand and show you the light. There is always room in my heart for all of you. With my elevated thoughts, I send you signals every day in the hope that all my children will prepare themselves to come home to me. I make you into my worthy children. I love you all. You were lost for a long time under the influence of the material world, and now you have awakened. I am so happy to find you again. Children, you were not happy because you were separated from me for a long time. Only God can now say to all you souls, come, my sweet children, come.
God is my best friend and my companion. When I look into God's eyes, divine insight emerge within my being, and deep feelings of belonging awaken. Pure rays of God's light and God's love cleanse souls and matter to reveal their radiant dignity and beauty. God is the friend of all of humanity. He's the friend of the whole world. He's my friend and he's my companion. And in this sacred friendship and companionship, love is living. Pure love, authentic love, divine love, living love. When I am purely loved, I am given back to myself, no longer possessed, owned, or labeled. God, the true friend and companion, offers me the freedom and the assurance to honor who I am. I am ushered back into a soul space of authentic, divine, spiritual love. That sacred space is God's heart. There I find myself. God's love revives my sense of self-worth. and I relish the eternity of my being. And now, assured through this sacred friendship, companionship, and company, I venture into a confident existence where there is protection from doubts, freedom from fear, strength to forgive, and light to find the path to truth and to victory. Om Shanti.
There is nothing without my love. Simply nothing, nothing at all. No earth below you, no sky above. Without my love, without my love. For the trees that whisper softly in the autumn are just my way of saying I love you. And the butterfly that rests upon the roses belongs in my heart too. For there is nothing without my love. Simply nothing, nothing at all.
A deep sense of recognition stirs within you. A memory of your true self, your true belonging, and your true home awakens. The eternal relationship of all souls is first with God. His pure love enables you to transform. Your true nature of peace, purity, and joy is now coming alive, and your old habits of fear, worry, and confusion are dying. This experience is life-giving. You feel alive again, feeling secure and protected, safe. A bright, warm, comforting light fills your entire being, gently wiping out all the darkness that once existed.
On this beautiful journey called life, I have traveled through all these different spectacular scenes. I felt the company of you, my invisible companion. And the days came when I was surrounded by all sorts of troubles. But your presence made me feel so secure in all my highs and lows. And as a result, I felt the protection of love because I knew you would never leave me. Protection means I feel safe and secure, even in difficult times, as I know who is holding my hand. One who never lets go of me and showers me with unconditional love. Protection is the feeling of belonging, a feeling of acceptance. Protection is when I follow the truth. I feel completely secure when I know who I truly am and who I belong to, my eternal companion, my Supreme Father.
तो सदा महफूज हुए हैं दाता तेरी याद में, बिन मांगे सब कुछ है पाया, क्या मांगू फरियाद में। हम तो सदा महफूज हुए हैं दाता तेरी याद में, बिन मांगे सब कुछ है पाया, क्या मांगू फरियाद में। तू ही समझता दिल को हमारे, करता मेरी हिफाजत है, तुझ पर ही तो हक है सारे, तू ही मेरी ताकत है। तू ही समझता दिल को हमारे, करता मेरी हिफाजत है, तुझ पर ही तो हक है सारे, तू ही मेरी ताकत है। तू ही सबसे पहले दिल में, बाकी सब है बाद में। हम तो सदा महफूज हुए हैं भगवन तेरी याद में। तू ही सबसे पहले दिल में, बाकी सब है बाद में। हम तो सदा महफूज हुए हैं भगवन तेरी याद में। दिल जो गाता तू वो गजल है, तू ही भरता मुझ में बल है। तुझसे मुकम्मल मेरी सांसें, तू ही जीवन सबका तराशे। दिल जो गाता तू वो गजल है, तू ही भरता मुझ में बल है। तुझसे मुकम्मल मेरी सांसें, तू ही जीवन सबका तराशे। तुमने दी है हर एक खूबी मुझको आशीर्वाद में। हम तो सदा महफूज हुए हैं साहिब तेरी याद में। तुमने दी है हर एक खूबी मुझको आशीर्वाद में। हम तो सदा महफूज हुए हैं साहिब तेरी याद में। बदलते दौर में तू ही मेरे मन का सुकून है दुनिया के इस शोर में तुमने थामा हाथ है मेरा इस बदलते दौर में तू ही मेरे मन का सुकून है दुनिया के इस शोर में पाए हैं तुमसे सभी खजाने मैंने जायदाद में हम तो सदा महफूज हुए हैं ईश्वर तेरी याद में पाए हैं तुमसे सभी खजाने मैंने जायदाद में हम तो सदा महफूज हुए हैं ईश्वर तेरी याद में मौला तेरी याद में या रब तेरी याद में दाता तेरी याद में
There's a feeling of joy in this understanding of safety and protection, a feeling of being liberated from all the things that cause you sorrow and peacelessness, a feeling of being released from all bondages, absolute freedom, an exquisite experience. You are a spirit, a form of living conscient light, and latent within you are extraordinary powers and wondrous qualities that you are not even aware that you possess.
Shanti, my name is Meenakshi. I've been living, working, and studying away from home for close to 3 years now. And there have been many times where I've had to face obstacles and, different situations where remembering and staying in the awareness of my relationship with the Supreme has always filled me with the inner strength to face everything without getting disturbed. And this practice of meditation has made it a lot easier to tackle all the situations. My relationship with God has also grown stronger. I began to explore God as my guide, from whom I seek advice and strength, and to be able to do whatever is needed. I felt that subtle support that is much different from what we usually perceive to get from God. This subtle support has made me stronger, and I always remain calm in facing situations and circumstances in front of me.
God has always been a guiding force in my life, even in difficult situations. Recently, I was searching for a job as I'm graduating from college. Despite applying and waiting for a long time and the uncertainty of waiting to hear back, I kept faith in God that whatever happens is perfect. Meditating and connecting with God every day really helped me establish faith and remain calm and relaxed throughout the process. Through my patience and faith, I now have a dream job at a place that wants me just as much.
Om Shanti, my name is Krishna and my journey with spiritual study has been wonderful. When I was growing up, I was introverted and seriously lacking self-confidence. It was difficult for me to make decisions. I would wonder if the other option is better. and this would be more dominant during exams when I could not decide which is the best option. But after I came across the spiritual path, things started changing. I understood myself as a soul, a spiritual being with inner power. I began to explore my inner self, and this led my self respect to revive. From this place of self respect, I connect to the source. With this daily practice of silent connection to the source, my mind and intellect becomes cleaner and clearer. This helps me to awaken my discerning power. It helps me to make accurate decisions and stand by them confidently. Thank you.
Having my whole family practicing Raja Yoga meditation meant that I grew up in a very peaceful environment where God and His presence in our lives was a very integral part of my upbringing. Having God in my life and practicing Raja Yoga meditation has helped me out a whole lot in many aspects of my life. And one of the main aspects where I've noticed this is when it comes to my schoolwork. Starting in elementary school up until now in college, I've always been able to manage my time well, and this has had a big impact when I've had to deal with managing assignments and studying for tests and managing my time in an effective way. With God's help, I don't get stressed about the deadlines, and I'm able to remain calm and peaceful when I have to manage my time. I really appreciate receiving the gift of Raja Yoga and the knowledge that comes with it in my life.
Om Shanti. My name is Akshata. I am a graduate student at Pusto Polytechnic Institute. As a student, I have to deal with different kinds of situations throughout the day. Also, I'm far away from home. So, along with studies, I have to manage everything else. To keep up with all of these, my mind has to go through so many thoughts throughout the day. When your mind is in this state, going to bed at night is not easy. So, to calm my mind, every night I sit in meditation and unplug my mind from all the unnecessary thoughts. One requires power to unplug. It is like stepping back to being quiet within. By this practice of connecting to higher source, every night before going to bed, I fill my mind with positive energy and also I get a sound sleep.
Om Shanti. My name is Kailan, and one of the ways I see God is an ocean of positive thoughts. One such positive and powerful thought for me is whatever happens, happens for the good. And there is a reason behind it. While I may not be mature enough to understand the significance of the present situation in front of me, I learned that what is to come out of that is something better. This made me not worry much, to stay strong while I'm in the midst of a situation. I would participate in collective meditation so that I can take the help of the gathering, and in that meditation, I can feel the positive energy from the source.
From seeking to finding to discovering to remembering to becoming.
Satchidananda, a sacred word from the Vedas, which means truth, consciousness, and bliss. For us in the Brahmakumaris, it is an epithet describing God, the Supreme Being. God as Satchidananda is truth, is consciousness, and is blissful. These are essential qualities of God. The Supreme Being is truth itself, is a conscious living being, and is the ocean of bliss. We can also use this to describe the soul in its perfect and ultimate reality. More than an attribute, Satchidananda is a spiritual potion for us to experience a joy beyond the senses. To experience spiritual bliss, we continually have to reflect on truth and allow it to illuminate our consciousness. Take a few moments now and step away from the world of sights and sounds. Allow yourself to become absorbed in the peace and stillness of the moment. In this moment, let's meditate on truth. You are luminous light. You are an eternal, beautiful, powerful being of light. Just spend a few moments allowing the reality and truth of your absolute existence to permeate your awareness. God is also an eternal luminous being of pure light. There is one main difference between the Supreme Being and us human souls. The Supreme One never takes a body, never comes into the cycle of birth and death as we do. The One always remains beyond the play of matter and duality. We enter this world and travel between happiness and sorrow, freedom and bondage, light and dark. The Supreme is eternally the ocean of peace, love, power, and truth. We come from beyond this world, from a dimension of pure light and stillness. This is the home where all souls reside before they enter the theater of life. For the next few moments, let your mind reflect on these timeless concepts. Allow the soul to absorb these spiritual and real aspects of the universe. Remember the Supreme Being in the dimension of light, and remember yourself as a being of luminous light. God is that being who is not just light or truth, but supreme energy of great joy and love, of bliss. And the bliss of God comes because there is always an awareness of being pure consciousness and of being connected to every being and the great truth of life. Take a moment now to rest with the ocean of bliss. Allow waves of joy to wash over your mind, even just for a few moments. See yourself as a spiritual being who is blissful, connected with God, the ocean of bliss. It only takes a few moments of this awareness daily to recharge and reconnect with our natural joy. Om Shanti, I am peace.
On this journey today, a new golden seed has been planted. That new seed of awareness of who I am and who I eternally belong to. Once this new seed is planted and watered with wisdom and love, a world of true happiness, peace, and joy is invoked. We experience a life of abundance.
Come into this light with me. All the treasures have been given to us with a golden key. For I have finally found God's inheritance of true love, peace, and happiness. My world is illuminated with all this brightness. From this day forward, with each step I take, God gives me immense love, protection, and care. Now I feel rays of light upon me from God, my Father, who was always there, filling me with dignity and self-respect, picking me up each time I'm feeling down. This divine connection gives my life purpose and meaning from all around. God's unconditional love empowers me and showers me through His gentle healing. In the stillness, I experience peace and tranquility. Such a magnificent feeling. God, my Father, has always watched over me like I was His precious, lovely child. When I look up at the sky, I can see His smile. Experiencing all these new treasures from the abundance of light is oh so sweet. I have no words to describe how I feel, but a heartfelt gratitude towards God, my Father, for making everything so complete.
You have been given the experience of an elevated awareness, the sensation of what it is when you have mastery and authority over your senses. You see how naturally the world around you cooperates and supports you when you are in this state of mastery. You have experienced deep contentment and the heights of happiness. This is the state of awareness of a true sovereign. You see others not as physical beings standing in front of you, but as the eternal spiritual beings residing within. You have a high regard for each other, knowing that innate goodness and feeling your kinship with each other. This is how the sapling for the new world is created. Our task is to dedicate ourselves to perfecting ourselves and helping others who are also searching for this truth. Our task is to bring comfort and hope to the world. And here is a glimpse of the task that is taking place throughout the world now.
What a magical journey and a beautiful experience, which takes us to the main part of our program today, which is the message on the occasion of Shivratri from Sister Mohini. Sister Mohini, whom many of us lovingly call Mohini Didi, is a spiritual master. And for many of us, she is our mentor, our teacher, and our guide. She has over 60 years of experience in Raj Yoga with the organization of the Brahma Kumaris. She came to the West in her late 20s, and she's been serving as the main spiritual resource of the Brahma Kumaris in the Western Hemisphere since her 1970s. She is the regional coordinator of all of Americas and the Caribbean. So let's go to Sister Mohini to hear the message for Shivratri.
Om Shanti, greetings of love and peace to everyone. Today is very, very dark time. There is so much fear, so much confusion. Everyone is worried, insecure about the present times and the future. And it is affecting definitely our emotions, our feelings, our mental health, which affects also the physical health, the immune system of the body. There is desire to be together in family, to experience closeness, joy, happiness. But it's not practical, it's not possible. So it's kind of extreme darkness. And this darkness is darkness because of the ignorance and lack of understanding of the self. And what kind of life one should live, what kind of karmas we should do. So each one of us, we are part of this darkness, but what I have to create a vision of is that after extreme darkness, there will be dawn, there will be light, there is light. Because even at midnight, when it's very, very dark, we know that dawn will begin. Very soon there will be light. Everything will be bright. Everything will be different and new. But now we have to create that light within ourselves first. And that light is light of knowledge. Because there is a saying that knowledge is light, knowledge is might, and also knowledge is virtue. So knowledge from God, godly knowledge, spiritual knowledge, knowledge which gives me self-realization, understanding of my own self, and how to create relationship with everyone as souls, as my brothers, as my family. Because world is one family. But all the divisions and boundaries are because we are not aware that we are all souls and we are one family. So now is the time for us to experience love of God, love of the Creator, and to think and to understand that what kind of creation the Creator created. It must be the creation of new world, world of light, world with the human beings full of God's qualities, because we are God's children. So when God's creation began, the world was full of all virtues, love, harmony, care and share. It was paradise, it was heaven, it was beautiful. So we all have to keep that vision in our hearts, in our mind. And our thinking, our words and actions should be very pure, sweet, honest. And in this life, create such elevated actions that the fruit and the reward of those actions will bring harmony, abundance, beautiful families in the world with no boundaries, no divisions, no conflict, but the world of peace, world of love. And that's only possible if each one of us, we connect with our Creator, one God, who is light, world benefactor, and unlimited bestower of love, peace, joy, power. So through meditation, we connect our minds with one God. It's generally said God is love, God is truth. It's only when I think of God with love that I experience God's love. And I'm able to see the light after darkness. We are actually moving towards the dawn, the lightness. In that light, there is no negativity. Everything is pure and divine. So that's the vision I keep for myself and for the whole world. And I have all good wishes and feelings of God's love, which I share with everyone. So today we are celebrating a very beautiful day, and that is divine birth of God, one who is benefactor. We call him Shiva. He descends, use the mouth of Brahma Baba to speak the knowledge of creator and creation, to make us understand how dawn is starting and it's end of the night. It's a new beginning. So we all have to understand it, celebrate, but in practical life, have determined thought that all my thoughts, words, and actions will be pure, of honesty, of truth. And my all relationships of true love, spiritual love, of pure bond, and always thinking of the Creator with us as a family. So today, each one of us, we celebrate our spiritual birth also. As soon as I know God, I get my spiritual birth. So I celebrate my pure spiritual birth also, where I understand the divinity and start living the life of divine love for everyone, all the souls of the world. And be like God, my Father, the Creator. As He bestows, we also share through our vibrations, through our eyes, in all different ways. So again, greetings for this day, special day, where we all invoking dawn and experience God's love. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Dee Dee, for such a beautiful message of promise, promise for our future, a beautiful entry point to take us into a meditation into that promise. I invite all of us at this moment to invite the presence of the one source of all goodness. However you see that one, in your heart and in your mind, invoke the presence through your love, through your thoughts, into your world, not just for today, but always. I invite the source of all goodness, for I know that when I am with the One, the Supreme, that I am influenced by that company, and my own strength begins to emerge. All the beautiful divine qualities that have been hidden within me emerge as I hold on to the one divine highest being, giving me strength, flexibility to any challenges that may be on my path, filling me with that promise, that hope for the future, new dawn. Allow those vibrations to embrace you, color you, influence you to become like the One. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Sister Dorothy. Sister Dorothy is the program director of our Peace Village Learning and Retreat Center. Thank you for this beautiful experience. So today, if there is one thing each one of us can carry away with ourselves, what would it be? It is that there is a ray of hope even in the dark times. We can invite God's presence in our life, and we can experience the protection of God's love. No matter how much chaos is happening around, we can stay connected with God in our heart and mind and we can feel his protection. So whatever chaos is on the outside stays outside, won't come inside. But instead, the experience of God's love that we have on the inside can actually reach out and touch others and help them to come back to a state of harmony. Thank you all for joining us today for an enlightening evening of spiritual truths and spiritual experiences. Our quest for knowledge and light begins here. So we will project some information about the various centers that are offering various programs through the next few weeks and their local contact information. So if you want any further information, if we have intrigued you, or if you want to do a course of Raj Yoga and know more about the Brahma Kumaris, please contact your local centers. Thank you again. Have a wonderful evening and weekend. Remember, we spring forward tonight in time, but also into where we are going and what our destination is. Om Shanti.